figure out, how do we get our kids to be the best they can be? How do we get them to realize, I don't care about your faults. I don't care if you're tall, short, skilled, not skilled. None of that. I don't care if you're smart or not smart, or you're good in school or in math or in science. I don't care about any of that. How do we get you to be the best you can be? And she talks about, right now they're doing studies. And she's been doing this now for 3 decades, studying the human mind and the human achievement. And she stated that in answering that, she goes, I really don't know yet. I don't know how we can get more out of people. But here's what she says she does know. It starts with understanding how we think, how our brain works. And that's why, Charmaine, when you made that comment, and by the way, I love you for that comment, because we all feel that way. I promise you, all of us feel that way at some point. This here, what I'm about to read to you, is the foundation of why we do the things we do. And until we start changing that, until we start, first of all, realizing and understanding that, it's hard to change that. We'll keep running into the same wall, month in and month out, week in and week out, day in and day out. Welcome to the life of me and Tanya, right? We have to change that. So, because we strongly tend to identify with our conscious thoughts, we naturally tend to think of our conscious thoughts as me. We assume that it is our conscious mind that is calling the shots, the one that is at the controls, that is in charge of what we actually do, but it's simply not true. In fact, the amazing thing is that we keep thinking this despite the wealth of evidence to the contrary. So when Carmen or Kenny or Jamalee or me, when we say, we have 10 more days, 3 more days, we set this goal. Am I going to hit it? Is it going to happen? Right? Our conscious mind, when you get on these training, is yes, right? You're going to leave this training and you're going to do your blitz and you're going to be excited. But the moment you get out of the environment, we go back to what? That thought, that doubt, that question, that fear, that maybe next month, because you're not going to get fired. Who here has ever recruited 10 people in a month? Personally. I don't think anybody here. Right, Donald, you're one of the best recruiters here. What's the most you've ever recruited personally? 6, which is awesome. I mean, that's freaking ridiculous, right? Now, he's the best recruiter here. He's never recruited 10. If somebody told him, he don't have no kids, so this is cool, that listen, they call him up and say, I stole your child and you're not going to get him back until you recruit 10 people direct this month. Who here will question that he will do that? There is no question in anybody's mind that he'll do that this week. What changed? Did he get more skilled? Did he get all of a sudden more intelligent? Does he have a much better understanding of this business? So how come nobody will question that he will recruit 10?
Urgency and sense and the reason why he's doing it.
The urgency changed. So the question is, what is your reasoning right now? What is your urgency? Why haven't we done it? Why haven't we freed our family? In the Bible, the Apostle Paul writes a wonderful statement that so beautifully captures the common frustration of the human experience. For the good I will do, or for the good that I will to do, I do not do. But the evil I will not to do, that I practice. Here is the grand fallacy. We think that all our wonderful conscious functions control what we do, but they do not. For all its brilliance, the conscious mind has a huge handicap. It doesn't get things done in the long term. It may be the captain of the ship, but it's the guy in the engine room who actually makes the ship go. not the captain. In fact, here's how much control our conscious functions exert over what we actually do, somewhere between 2 and 4%. So what is this saying ultimately, right? Because I know it seems like a lot of mumbo jumbo. I literally, when I read this book originally, I read this stuff like the same paragraph like 10 times, just trying to figure it out. Like, what is it talking about, right? Here's what that means. If you want to start leveling up your game in Primerica, first you got to take the emotional part out of running the numbers. You have to create a schedule for the business, for Primerica, that allows you to subconsciously run the plan, run the game. That's, for example, at 11 o'clock, after training, subconsciously, you have to have a list and get ready to make calls. Because I don't care how great the trainings are. And, you know, besides mine, all these trainings are amazing. They give you great information. But is that what you hear? What is Saturday about? Setting up your week. That's what Saturday is about. So that has to be a subconscious thought, Charmaine. You want to have a great end to this month. You got 10 days, and it starts today. It starts at 11 o'clock in the next 20 minutes. You may not have a list right now. Guess what? Put it right now, right away. Pick 5 people that you're going to call, that you've hesitated to call, that you forgot to call back. 5 people that can give you a referral. Who cares? Start running it. Run the play. Execute it. I promise you, things will start falling on your lap. They will. And you know, here's the other part to it. How much better will you feel about yourself? You just feel, just that alone, that action alone will help you feel better. And then remember that, so that next week on 11 o'clock, you do the same thing. But you have to do something to move your business forward every day, whatever that may be. For all of us, is different. We all have different schedules. You know, I sent to the Telegram this morning to make sure that everybody's ready to make calls at 11, a picture of Carmen, right, who's one of my top agents on the team right now, making calls at 11 o'clock last week. And I just love that picture, because she's on the phone like this, and you can tell she's in the middle of saying something, but that tells the story. That tells the story of setting up your week. So, I mean, the rest of it is just, you know, a little bit more into the depths of it, understanding of it, the non-conscious brain, all that stuff. So I think you guys get the picture. Look, we have the end of the month is coming. And trust me, it's going to get here fast. Do not waste today, man. Right? My goal and Tanya's goal is to set 10 appointments personally this week. I'm challenging the leaders of my team to do the same thing. For you guys, you may not want, you know, I know with Carmen, I know that Carmen, the Elliots, and Tafan, right? I know their goals. We've discussed it. I know what they're fighting for. So their challenge is, hey, you got to set up 10 appointments this week. What is yours? What is your goal? What do you want to hit? How close are you to it? Mr. Kane, time to get to work, brother. Time to make it happen, man. We got to lift up every leader in this organization, man. We got to get Shaq to 1 million. Here's the crazy part about that. I've had one of my agents who's not here right now tell me in the past, man, why are you always worried about Shaq? Why are you always talking about trying to get him here and get him to 1 million? And I thought about it for a second. I said, well, in order for him to get to 1 million, I got to get to about 200 to 300. I'll tell you a quick story. This was when Samir was a division. It was a division, and we were fighting. Shaq was a regional leader. And I think it was the month that they hit records. Shaq did like 60-something thousand in premium. Samir did like 30-something thousand. I was part of Samir's team. And I remember needing like a big sale, like a max case, last minute that Samir needed to get, to hit a big goal, right? To break record. It was like to break a record or something. I forgot exactly what it was. You can ask Samir about this. And I'll never forget, I had somebody in New York. I lived in Virginia at the time. My whole family was here in New York. And Donald, I needed this sale, right? So that Samir can go out. And it was a max case. And I remember, I was ready to take it on and write the sale and everything, right? And submit it. And we realized that Samir was not going to get credit for it. He was not going to override it. So it wouldn't have shown up on his base shop. Why? Because it was New York. I was licensed in New York. He wasn't there. He wasn't licensed there yet. So he couldn't override it. So to me, you know what my next response was? Oh, that's easy. Write it. I gave it to him. I didn't care about the money and none of that stuff. I really did. I swear to God, I didn't care. My immediate response, we need to hit this goal. Write it. Here. He put under his license and we hit the goal. Guys, that's what this is about, man. Ultimately, that's what this is about. And I'll give you one last story about Samir again. When it comes to closing out the month, I don't think I've ever met, Shaq is like that too. Samir, now he's a little soft now around the edges because, he's anywhere he wants to meet, which is awesome, right? But make no mistake about it, no one was more intense than Shaq and Samir when we were doing this, when they first started this. No one was more intense. We used to do fantasy. Anybody knows fantasy football or baseball or basketball, right? You kind of pick a team and you compete against other people. We used to do Fantasy Primerica. And with Fantasy Primerica, there were different points you would earn based on what you were doing. Where the big points came out to, closing sales. Big points were on recruiting people. Getting a license was the biggest points you get. Setting appointments, getting prospects, you probably get one. If you did 10, you get 1 point. That kind of stuff, right? Where the closing or results were the biggest points. We did it for like 6 months to almost a year. For that 6 months to a year, guys, Shaq never lost not 1 week. Not one. And the one he lost was to Dante. Tell Dante to tell you. He'll love to tell you this story. He lost that 1 week to Dante. You know what Dante had to do to win that week? And the reason he won? He wrote, ended up getting an investment of $1 million. That's how he beat Shaq. Barely. See, you can compare now Shaq or Samir to you right now because it's not the same thing. They're running a different business. You got to look at T. You got to look at Shay, Jen Lee, right? Those people, right? Their work effort, their work ethic. When Samir was new in his business, there was a gentleman named Christian Castro who I used to compete with all the time. Right? He used to kill me. First, because we came in around the same time, he used to kill me. There was 1 week, 1 month that I think it was in November or March, because those are the biggest months of the year. I think it was in November. And again, end of the month, we needed one more sale. Samir and Christian stood in front of, Charmaine, listen to this, Walmart, and asked everybody that walked out, do you need life insurance? 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 I don't know how many people they spoke to. I have no clue. And I think they might have gotten kicked out of one Walmart, so they went to a different Target or something like that. Do you need life insurance? Do you need life insurance? Now, I'm not saying build your business that way. Please don't misunderstand. But when it comes to urgency, when it comes to making it happen, when it comes to closing, we have two of the best in the company. Samir was that, man. Shaq was that, right? We need to be that now. This group here, Shay's group, Jen Lee's group, right? They're that. We have 10 days left, Charmaine, and no one believes in you more than we do here. That's why you're here. I know Jen Lee is a beast. I'm not even worried about that. Donald's going to close out hard, right? Carmen, what's up? You'll make it happen, right? Mr. Kane. Whose team you on, Mr. Kane?
Shaq's.
You direct to Shaq?
Yeah. Well, Gustavo, Jen.
Okay.
But Jen.
There we go. There we go. Love that. Listen, we need, different legs, man. Don't let Jen Lee run that show. Let's go, baby. Let's grow it. Let's get big there. Right? Autry, who you with?
Keenan, under Jen.
Oh, okay. You have a beast, right? Just listen to everything she tells you to do. That's all. She's a beast. You ain't got to worry about it. Charmaine, who are you with, young lady?
I'm with Sophia.
Oh, Sophia Said.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Listen, great RVP team as well. Look, guys, we have to individually go out and do our part. That's it. Be okay with you as long as you're working. As long as you're working, you're not doing this for anybody else. You're doing it for you and your family. Always remember that. And if you're putting in the effort, you know you're capable of putting in, you'll be okay. You will be okay. All right. Does anybody have questions? Well, listen, we got 10 minutes left. Make sure you have your list, prepare your list, know who you're going to call, right? And let's have a huge end of the month. 10 days left. 2/3 of the month is gone. We have 10 more days. Let's step up our game. All right, guys? Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. My team, you can stay on.